already? Do you want me to get up? Does she want me to wake up you guys? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. What do you want? Hello everyone, my name is Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to the last vlog of the Queerlit Readathon. Welcome. I hope you have watched the last 4. If you haven't, they're all in a Queerlit Readathon playlist for 2023. You can go back and watch all of them if you want to see my thoughts on everything that I've been reading. But yeah, I had a very anxious weekend, so I'm glad I didn't really film at all. It wasn't the best of times, but I'm through it and we're out the other side, so things are looking up. Oh my gosh, my hair. So let me catch you up on what I'm reading. So I'm reading Meaty by Samantha Irby because I finished Lavender House at the end of last week. These are essays, so it's going to go for the short story prompt. I was going to read Chef's Choice, which is a continuation, which is going to be for the continued block, by TJ Alexander, but it's not available on Scribd at the moment. It was available like a week ago, but I think they're doing a giveaway for it on Instagram, so I think they've like limited the availability for the giveaway. So that was annoying. So I started listening to Meaty. I read Wow No Thank You and the other one, We're Never Meeting in Real Life, last year. She's very dry, she's very funny. She's a bisexual, disabled, neurodivergent black woman, so she's very intersectional. There's a lot of like stuff that she brings out, and she's just funny. She's just absolutely hilarious. And then I'm reading All Gomorrahs Are the Same by Thenjiwe Mswane. I don't have it. I don't want to go get it. Here's a picture. I'm struggling to get into this one. I'm 50 pages in and I'm not really sure what's like going to be happening in this. We're following 2 people. Apparently from the back of the book it says we're following 3 people, but we've only met Makosi. Hang on. I was right, it's Makosi and Dudu. So Dudu is Makosi's mother, and they're just like talking about growing up in like a rural town near Escort in KZN. It's a local writer. On the back here it says that it's got generational conversations between black families, which I'm already seeing. Like we're seeing things from Dudu when she was marrying her husband, when she was growing up with her parents, and then we're seeing Makosi, which is now seeing Dudu as the mother figure, and the different ways that they live. But then it says that it tackles sexuality and addiction and loss, which is very interesting. But yes, this got recommended to me as a queer recommendation, but I don't know exactly is the queerness in it. I think the author is queer as well, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I am struggling a little bit to get into it. I feel very disconnected from the characters, and that does make sense in a way because there is a lot of Zulu in here, and I have been putting it into Google Translate, but like there's no reason that they should not include those for me, you know. They shouldn't have to include those just for a white audience. Like if the white audience wants to be able to read those things, they're going to need to put in the work. So I completely respect that. it just makes it slightly more difficult to get into. But yeah, I'm really interested to see where it goes and where the gayness happens. I'm intrigued. But yeah, I set up my articles today. I went to go get my meds, and now I'm gonna clean my bathroom and listen to podcasts. So yeah, welcome to the vlog, everyone. Hello, it's Tuesday. I finished writing my article for the day. I got given 2, oh, dearie me. I got given 2 fatter articles this week rather than 3 smaller ones. And I managed to write the first one, and the next one is only due on Friday. So I've got chores to go out and do, which I'm doing now. I'm really hoping that by the time I get back I'll have some edits to do, or I'll have another client that got hold of me. If not, I do need to finish my bullet journal. I haven't finished my bullet journal, and it is the 1st of July on Saturday. So I need to get that done, which is actually totally fun, so that's fine. Yeah, so that is what I'm doing. You can tell that it is the 5th week of me weekly vlogging in a row. Because I don't weekly vlog every week because I just don't do that much interesting stuff. I work from home, I crochet, especially in the winter. I don't see a lot of people. I'm much more likely to invite friends over and stuff in the summer. But yeah, I don't have too much exciting stuff to tell you about except for what I'm reading. And when I don't have reading updates, I'm not doing anything that extraordinary. So I'm using this drive to Woodstock to listen to Meaty. This woman, I swear, a trigger warning for mention of diet culture. She does mention a lot of, she goes through a list of these crazy diets. She doesn't talk too much about queerness in here, but as I said, she's a queer author, which is why I'm reading it for the Queerlit Readathon. But I kind of read them backwards. I think I read her most recent one, then the second one, and now I'm reading the first one. It's not as if they need to be chronological. You can read them whatever order. But yeah, she's funny and very sarcastic and cynical, which is entertaining. So yeah, I will update you whenever something vloggable actually happens. Here is a little update for you on what I'm crocheting right now. So I was working on it in the last vlog. But I'm making an infinity scarf for my sibling out of this this lighting is not good. It's speckled, that's better, speckled black and colorful yarn. And I think I'm going to do one more row on it to make it extra nice and snuggly. But I'll show you when it's done. Are you in a mood? Apparently you're in a mood. Whose feet? Whose feet are these? Whose feet are these? Is this not yours? Is this still yours? You're covered in bits of yoga mat. Vicious, terrifying. Oh, it is. You're so scary. You're so scary. There, it's Wednesday. That was so Jay needed to go, my sibling needed to go to the shop, so they brought Nana, and they're also feeling sick, so Nana was in a mood, so I was like, okay, let me get in some puppy playtime, because all I have to do for work today is research an article, because I was given 2 big fat articles to write, and I've written one already, and the other one is only due on Friday, and I'm having one of those weeks where I only have 1 client's work to work on. And then I'll have other weeks when I have 3 clients' work to work on. So it's just. So I'm hoping to hear from my other clients this week, but I did send out some job applications yesterday. So, excuse me. I wanted to come in here and say that I am enjoying all Gomorrahs are the same, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with it. But I'm glad I am. If that makes any sense. Okay, so obviously this is written by a person of color. It's set in a country where the majority of people are people of color. It's about people of color. It's about black people. This book is a black book. So there are big chunks of some dialogue that's in Zulu, because this is set in KZN. I did Zulu at school, but I'm 33 and I did Zulu last in 2008 when I was 18. So it's been a little while. I can't really translate too much. So I am having to take my phone out and translate these sections. But I'm glad, because literally this book is by black people for black people. And yes, it's great when people like me come in and read these books. But these books are not catering towards us specifically. You know, it's not giving us a translation. It's be like, if you want to know what we're talking about, you need to go through the effort of finding out. And I kind of appreciate that, because like most of publishing is based around books that are in English for white people, you know, and this is just not that, which is very interesting. But yeah, it's about 2 sisters and their mother, and Makosi the older sister has a very tenuous relationship with her mother. She's got she sort of went off to boarding school, found, you know, she got out of her tiny little hometown and is like learning about the patriarchy and colonizers and things like that, and she's had some queer encounters at school, and she's sort of finding her voice in that kind of way, but that's causing tension with her policeman mother. And Nontle, the younger sister, is just seeing, you know, this tension between the mother and the older sister, and like observing it from the outside. But yeah, I am enjoying it. It's a very simple story of family and the different ways different generations interact with one another. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to finish it by Friday. I think I might take a little bit of time later because I have extra time. I might read a chapter or 2, just to make sure. Meaty, it's basically just a set of essays. Like at this point, she's not with her wife, which her later books talk about, her being with her wife and being a stepmom. So in this, she mainly talks about dating men. But Samantha Irby is a bisexual writer. There's a lot to do with diet and body image in here. She talks a lot about being in a fat disabled body, and I really like talk of things like that. I find it's so important. And she puts it against like a funny backdrop, so it makes it like more absorbable. Yeah, so 2 books that are going pretty well. They're not my favorite books of this month for sure, but like I've read so many favorite books of this month so far, so like is a high standard to reach. Yeah, I am going to research my article that's due on Friday, because I don't write articles more than a day in advance. It's just like a standard that I like to keep. I either hand them in on the deadline day or I hand them in the day before. Nothing earlier than that. So I'm just going to research today. Just a quiet old week. Just a quiet old week in the life of a freelancer. Hello. It's Thursday. I just finished my work for the day. It's pissing it with rain again. Oh my god. Goodness gracious. I finished my work. I'm waiting to have a call with my mom. And it is the last day of June tomorrow. So I only have today and tomorrow to finish the 2 books that I'm reading. So I have some time in between my mom's call. So I'm going to sit down and read a little bit to make sure that I finish my books on time.
I think we could just do this all around, and that means whatever it means to you. You know?
Do you want attention?
FNAF character crush.
Do you?
Okay. Just kidding.
Hi, it's Friday. Okay, so I am using my cleaning for the day, which is... I swapped the camera. Cleaning my bedroom. I finished All the Gomorrahs Are the Same this morning, and I am waiting to talk to you about it once I've finished Meaty, because then I can talk to you about both in one go. But actually, let me just talk about All the Gomorrahs Are the Same while I clean. I might as well. So I said I was struggling to get into it and that it was like very slow and not much was happening. It tricks you. It's tricky. That book was wild. Like it got so much more intense than I expected. Like when my Kofi went to Rhodes, shit started hitting the fan. There was so much like suicide ideation, so like keep that in mind. She was getting into relationships with women, like exploring, you know, relationships with women. There was never any like dramatic coming out or anything like that. Just sort of happens, which is refreshing. It's like can be tiring to read coming out stories over and over and over again. So we're following Kofi just like really losing her way, like, or not finding her way. She comes out of school and things just never seem to sit right. And when things seem to be going her way, she always does something to sort of self-sabotage it, which is like really painful to see. And to see it through her mother's eyes and through Nonclair's as well is quite intense. This does have lots of discussions about mental illness and going into a facility. She like talks about doing her multiple 21 days. And that was very familiar to me because I went to a psychiatric hospital at one point in 2019. And a lot of people there, I only had to go there for about 10 days. But a lot of people around me were doing multiple 21-day stints because that's how like medical aids and how charging works, and like I think it's just a legal thing. That's like how long you can stay in, but you can do multiple 21-day stints. But yeah, so it gets a lot into mental illness, and yeah, finding yourself being lost and never knowing how to find it. It ended in a way that I did not expect at all. And I was like, oh damn. And then I was just like, I'm sure this is the last page. I turned it over. I was like, rude. So that is my final physical book of this TBR. And then I'm just finishing Meaty right now in my headphones. And then I will come in and finish out this vlog. and give my closing thoughts on the Queerlit Readathon. Friends, we have come to the end. It is the end of Pride Month. It is the end of the Queerlit Readathon, and I have finished reading the last 2 books of my readathon. Hell fucking yeah. I love that I got to finish it off with something funny in Meaty. I can't really tell you much more about Meaty. It's a set of essays. They're a bit dated because they're from like 2013, especially in the ways that I don't know if she was dating women at that stage, but she does allude to, like, wouldn't it be better to date women? And now she's married to a woman, so it's like kind of cute to see. She does talk a lot about, yeah, like I mentioned before, being fat and black and disabled. She does, one thing that I find that I don't like so much about the audiobooks, is that she sometimes does these essays that are like a list, and it's a little bit incessant for it to be read out to you. I think it would be easier to just read it. And she does have a very sarcastic negative tone, so if you're in a negative state of mind, that might affect you slightly. But yeah, she's very funny, and I'd like to see some, like, a new set of essays from her. That would be really cool. And then I got to finish it off with a local read, which is freaking great. So this is how my bingo board was looking. I was initially going to read this one for crime, but then I realized that Lavender House actually qualified as crime. So I just kicked that one off my TBR, but I added Meaty. So I basically read all 9 books that I thought I was going to read, which is pretty freaking sick. That's how it came out. And it's so satisfying. I love filling out these bingo boards. I really hope next year the Queerlit Readathon is a month long again. Kathy, if you see this, please can we have it for a month again? Because I really enjoyed it. If you did enjoy these vlogs, please let me know. I love making them. I love making content in June. So it's even more gratifying when I get to talk to people about the books that I've been reading and seeing that they're enjoying my content and stuff like that. So yeah, as always, if you want to support my channel, there's a Kofi link for a little one-time donation down below. So there are also links to my social media, my TikTok and my Instagram. It's a whole lot of fun. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I'll check you next time.